So I've been dying to talk to you guys about narcissism. I don't know why this has been on my mind, but I have to talk about it because it's a word that's thrown around all the time. And I'm sure you've been affected by a narcissist, and me too. And I found out I would have been one had I not gotten into recovery and a 12-step program at 18 years old. So hi, my name is Michelle Simon, and welcome to I Am the Change. I broke up with fear, shame, and guilt in 2019, and I've been going ever since, and I've been doing these videos showing you about my life as it is happening and not waiting until after it happens and then come back and tell you. So anyway, this whole narcissist thing, every time I hear about narcissism, it's a person who is very selfish, can only think of themselves, and they're selfish, right? And usually the people who behave like this will refer to you as being selfish. You're the selfish one. They usually call you the names. And really, a lot of times what I've learned is a lot of times the people who are calling you names or saying things about you to you is actually how they feel about themselves, and they're trying to project and put it onto you. And like I was saying, I would have been a narcissist myself if I did not get help in a 12-step recovery program starting at 18 years old, because when I got into the program, they started to tell me to think of other people and help other people and do things for other people. And not that I didn't want to do that, but a lot of times we get stuck in our own heads and our own feelings and what's going on with us. And a narcissist truly is a person who is in survival mode. And when you are in survival mode, the only thing you are capable of is looking out for a number one. And it's very hard to look out for other people when you are in an active addiction of any kind. You're thinking of yourself constantly, and then we're told we're supposed to think of ourselves, right? I'm supposed to be selfish and think of myself first. And it's, yes, I'm supposed to think of myself first and take care of myself, but not as a screw you. So I'm learning that I can help you and I can help myself. And years ago, I would help you and not help myself. And I'll give you an example. And it took me a long time to learn about this. And really, I think anybody who is in narcissism, yes, you can recover from it. And yes, you are in survival mode and you are protecting yourself at all and any cost. And a lot of times people perceive you as being very selfish. And, when you're constantly protecting yourself to keep yourself safe, you're not really thinking about others because you can't. And so I realized when I got into 12-step recovery, they started to tell me, Michelle, you need to think of other people and ask other people how they're doing. And a good thing is when you have a lot of things going on in your mind, in your head, and that's all you can think of, you're worried about getting a job, or if your child's going to be okay, or if your husband's going to be okay, or whatever's going on. And one of the things that they strongly suggest in 12-step recovery, which my nose runs all the time, you guys, is to call somebody else and ask them how they're doing. And get out of your head, which is the danger zone, and get distracted and think of other people. And when you think of other people, it keeps you out of your head, and it keeps you not focusing on what it is you think you need to have, or if you don't get, you're going to die or something horrible is going to happen. And so I've been giving all of these tools of what to do and how to do them. And I feel like the whole world needs these tools, not just people in recovery, but people who are not in a 12-step program. When you are obsessing about something, the best thing to do is to get out of yourself and ask someone else how they're doing. And also another thing is to do things that make you happy and bring you joy. And as a recovering codependent workaholic alcoholic addict, recovering food addict, I had to learn to find things that brought me joy. And it's going back to my childhood and remembering all the things that I used to love as a little girl. I used to love to roller skate. You guys, I loved to roller skate. That was one of my most favorite things to do. Unfortunately, because of my back and my neck, it doesn't love me back as much. So I'm not able to do it in the capacity that I used to be able to do it. So I love to line dance, and I've been doing that. However, I wasn't able to do stuff that made me happy and brought me joy until my son went to college. I really thought my job was for him to have fun and for him to have joy, and my joy was watching him have joy. And the one thing I realized is I did such a disservice to him and to myself because I relied solely on him to make me happy. And it wasn't his job to make me happy. It was my job to make me happy. And as a result, he didn't know what I liked or what I didn't like. I didn't even know. I forgot. I went to baseball games and I loved watching my son play baseball. But even though I loved watching him play baseball, I really loved going there for the food. And then I got to sit there. And half the time I would put on sunglasses and fall asleep because I was so bored and tired. And then when my son got into college, because I only had one child, I don't want to say only, but I only have one child. And we went to every practice like it was a game. We went to every event. And when he went into college, my ex-husband went to all his games. And that's what I'm like, I'm going to line dancing. So then it almost looked like I was selfish. And I was starting to get to know myself again and what I like and get out of myself and talk to other people and find out what they liked. And, you know, this narcissism thing, nobody thinks they're a narcissist, by the way. You can point out who everyone else is, but it's very difficult to look at yourself and say, I possess these behaviors. And you know, the other thing that I've learned and I'm learning, and it's still really hard, is what other people think of me is none of my business. And it's not, you know, some people are like, I don't care. I don't care what you think. Yes, you do. Because when you say it like that, you really do care. But one of the things is I really can't afford to care what other people think of me because it depleted my soul and it took my spirit away, and I wasn't able to be the Michelle that God intends me to be, which is to spread love and light wherever I go. And you guys, tomorrow I am leaving really early on a flight to go to Dallas, Texas. I'm going to visit my brother for his 50th birthday. It was on Wednesday. Today is Thursday, so I'm going tomorrow, which is Friday, December 19th, 2025. He doesn't know I'm coming. And I get to do this kind of stuff now. I get to go surprise my brother. He turned 50, and I'm so excited to go see him and surprise him. And I got him tasty cakes. He loves like the peanut butter and chocolate tasty cakes because you can't get those in Texas. And Philadelphia soft pretzels, which I found out they have. The pretzel factory opens in the Philadelphia airport at 7:15 a.m. So I can like quick run down there. I might even have to ask the handicap guy to take me on a cart to go get these pretzels because my flight is at 8:30 a.m. But I'm bringing him his Philly pretzels. And you guys, my party last week was great, and I was able to clean my house, pick up my friend in New Jersey. And when everybody got here, my house was a mess because we were doing crafts and I had stuff all over the tables and nobody cared. So anyway, this is your sign signing off. Thank you so much for watching. Please stay tuned. Stay safe. I will see you all next week, which is actually Christmas Day. And today I look terrible, and I'm getting a shower tonight, so I'll look good tomorrow. All right. Have a great weekend and week.